Hi, Steve again. As a young salesperson, I was enthusiastic selling radio advertising. I was creative, I was friendly, but I wasn't doing so well. I didn't really like it. I felt unprofessional. I felt subservient. And I didn't really know what I was doing anyway. I spent the first 3 years from age 21 to age 25 without really asking a question about my potential advertiser's business. I just said, I've got an idea for you, or something like that. So I realized as time went on that I started to make some adjustments and I started asking more questions. Business owners liked it when I asked about their business, and they liked talking about their business. So I started asking more questions and trying to understand. So over time, I wasn't just doing the traditional model of trying to get 3 minutes to make a pitch standing at the cash register of the local drugstore or wherever. So I realized that I really liked the idea of building a relationship. When I would see my buyers out in the city somewhere or at a show or a ball game, there was a connection. It was like we were more on even keel. I was helping their business even though I was very young. So I learned that later, probably, that there were some major tenets about this business, that we're professionals. It's an honorable profession. We have expertise to offer. And every sales call is a business meeting equals an honest exchange of info. And my prospect's got to qualify. He's got to have some money. He's got to give me the time. I've got to understand his businesses. So some prospects simply didn't qualify to me, although I tried to sell everybody. So I learned a system, a repeatable process that I could do every time I went to see a new business. And it started out with asking, trying to find out what kinds of things are working for you. I'd look around the store that was empty. How come more people aren't shopping here? I thought that was pretty clever. So think about committing to transforming your sales effort. Have you ever been to a seminar? You probably got some tips, heard some stories, walked out feeling inspired, but over time those feelings fade. You start to forget. And there's psychological studies about how we learn, and most show that we forget what we learn at a seminar within the first couple days. So I don't believe all that works so well. I think they're fun, and I think they get a nice buzz, and I always like teaching seminars, but I don't think anything happens. So we're going to teach you a little bit at a time. It's called micro-learning. Give you an idea that you can bite on and run with and learn, and then we'll reinforce it over the course of time. It takes time. You just get it in, and then you go out and work on it and perfect it, reinforce it, work on it, perfect it, reinforce it. So we're going to talk about changing our model a little bit. It took me a long while to realize that I was on an even keel with my buyers, because I was, say, 20 years old, and my buyer might have been a business owner of 52 years with gray hair. So I had to learn how to be on equal footing and have some respect. And the way I showed competence, even though I was young, and you will too, was that I asked the right questions. And that's where I displayed my competence, not by being young or being the most creative kid in the world. So, and that's when an increase in sales started to occur. The standard was we don't try to push or pedal until we understand, kind of like going to the doctor. So we're going to have some new tools presented where we treat our business and our clients on a little different level. I want you to start thinking more about how can I collaborate? Help yourself stand out from the crowd, from all the other people that they're talking to. Professional business people are talking to sellers all the time. So when it comes to transforming results, you're going to get what you give. So change comes through reinforcement. So you're going to hear some of the same ideas on our 3 or 4 minutes a week, and you're going to hear a little bit of repetition, but there's method to our madness. So if you ask a salesperson what the most important moments of a sale is, they will probably talk about their prospect's conversations, what they say, how the prospect reacts, whether the prospect is convinced, but I wonder if we should agree with that. The most important part of a sale is before you ever talk to the prospect and how you prepare to lead the interaction. Taking the lead isn't easy. You need to be equipped to ask the right questions at the right time, no winging it. To anticipate your prospect will react at every move, to track how far along in the process you are. You can learn this by trial and error, or you can follow a system. A system helps you think and be self-sufficient while you're developing the lead. and without resorting to winging it. So I always said the reason that we need a system and enjoy using a system is because if you know this material, then you don't have to think about it. Then you can really ask and listen, ask and listen. I can watch the client. I can see every move that she makes because I don't have to be thinking about what I'm going to say next. So that's what we're teaching, a common system, focusing on the behaviors and the goals of the client. And when you're following a system, you don't have to worry about your going to get your goal. That frees up all the focus and your attention on the most important task, listening to and leading the prospect a bit. So there are three major stages of the system we're teaching. Building and sustaining the relationship. In the first stage, you'll build a rapport that's not typical, it's almost atypical. It may not be instinctive. You'll take the lead by setting clear expectations for your meeting and asking for little commitments along the way. And then you'll qualify that opportunity a bit. It's up to you to determine if the prospect's worth your time. That's some different thinking. In this stage, you'll follow the system to find out. You'll uncover their problems, talk about budget early, and understand their decision-making process. And then closing the sale easily. Let the sale come to you. And it's not the final stage when you fully understand your needs, the needs of your prospect. The presentation should only come, your product idea should come after you've thoroughly vetted and agreed between the two of you that there'll be a decision somewhere along the line. So don't get ahead of the buyer. Stay just a little behind and draw them in just a little bit with the questions you ask. Start thinking about the questions you'll want to ask. And I'll see you next time.